I don't know if you know him. He's the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. He's got a hose arm, too, as well. His name is Josh Allen, and let's get into it right now. And there he is. I'm excited because I'm caffeinated by the JA17 blend, and we're going to get to that in a minute. He's excited because he's 2-0. He's flanked by Tommy Shelby, the Joker, Iron Man. Josh Allen, what's up, dude?
Just hanging out. Great to be back on.
I'm fired up to see you. We got a big game this weekend, but before we go any further, Josh, we have to do something a little bit ceremonial. I think it's only right that we should, before we go on, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem. We're going to go to Laramie, Wyoming. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh's dad, Joel Allen. Roll it! USA! USA! Josh, tell us about this. You're smiling. What did we just watch and listen to?
I mean, my dad got the boys pumped up. We were 16.5-point dogs against Air Force. Some friendly rivalries between me and my receivers coach, Chad Hall. So he texted me. He was like, bet you 100 push-ups. And I said, my dad's singing the national anthem tonight. He's going to get the boys pumped. You're on. So they ended up winning the game. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of the Cowboys, but I'm proud of my dad for going out there and doing that. He sang national anthems as a kid, in baseball games and our football games growing up. So for him to do that in a bigger stage, it was pretty cool to see.
And he hit the closing note, with the 3 notes in it. He brought the house down. Josh, I've told you this. I got to meet your dad randomly in an airport once. Love the guy. Great handshake. I love that he brought the house down and inspired the team. People want to know, though. Let's talk about the Allen family genetics. Are you a singer?
Absolutely not. There's no artistic musical bone in my body. It's weird. My uncle, both my uncles, one played the guitar, one played the drums.
Yeah.
So they've got all the music talent in the world. I took guitar lessons for 4 months at 13, 14 years old. And I was like, Mom, I can't do this. I retain nothing. My fingers don't work that way. But after watching Whiplash, I might have to think about it.
Yeah. You and I love Whiplash, the jazz drumming thing. It's weird that you could be so good with your hands with the football, but if you try to play I don't know, what were they trying to play? Wonderwall or something, guitar? It was just going nowhere?
I was just trying to learn chords and progressions and all. I couldn't even tell you because it was so just not my thing that I was over and done with it.
Well, the Allen family music talent goes to Big Joel, and we respect it, and this country needs it. It was an awesome rendition. Josh, let me shift gears with you dramatically. We saw the Monday Night Football game. It was incredible. You guys did great against the Titans. Everything was great with one exception. Your young teammate, Dane Jackson. This is a third-year corner, great young player, great teammate. He went down, had to be removed from the field. It's a couple days later. What is the word on Dane, and where's your head at with this?
Yeah, he's back in the building right now. Obviously, he's up, he's at him. Scary moment, obviously, when you got a teammate, especially, a guy that's such as good as Dane, just as a person. Everybody loves him. So we were very relieved to see him. We had a little birthday party for one of our linemen last night, Jordan Phillips, D lineman. He was there hanging with the guys. So he's doing much better. Very scary in the moment, but we're very happy and relieved to see him moving the way he is.
I am too, and this is not a Bills thing. This is a national thing. Everyone is talking about this. We're all happy for him, and I'm not surprised to hear you guys are rallying around him as a team. I know the Bills fan base is doing the same thing. We here at the basement are also thinking about Dane Jackson, and I appreciate that we got to get to that early because I know you feel strongly about it. The rest of the game, Josh, it was a great night with that one exception, of course, but the football was excellent. I want to ask you about, 3 touchdowns to Diggs. The second one was just a strike. So you had the one on 4th down early, and then the one late. Take me through the one deep down the middle. Just do the storytelling behind that play, the second touchdown to Diggs.
Well, if you look at the progression of that drive, it was quick out to Diggs, look pass to Diggs, stop to Diggs, quick out. I was going after him. I trusted him. I was trusting what I was seeing. Coach Dorsey was putting the ball in our hands. We had a 3rd down play where we got them to jump off sides, had a free play. He runs screaming hauling down the field, takes one play on the sidelines back in the game. And for him to just keep pushing and keep grinding and to have that play called as a deep post, they ended up going like a junk invert Tampa. A lot of people are going to say that's one high, but that corner's got basically the half of the field. So when he's pressed like that and they want to play that junk Tampa look, he's got to play not only Diggs, but he's just got to run and get out of there. And once Diggs widened him with his route, it was game over from that standpoint. The safety bit up on our little middle route, if you will. And, he tracked the ball down, made an unbelievable catch, and did the weirdest celebration I've ever seen in my life. I just kind of stood there. I was like, what the heck are you doing, dude? Like, I don't know what this is, what dance this is, where you saw this. Get up and celebrate with me. Let's get back on the sideline.
It's a strange dynamic to watch at home, too, because you're so excited and you want to like hug and celebrate with your brother, but you also know that they're trying to do some sort of art. And so you like want to stay out of their way and not cramp their style. Like, how do you handle that? And did you ever get an answer on what he was doing? What was that?
I still don't know. We were talking about that today. It beats me. I literally just stood there, like didn't move. I was just kind of frozen for 3 or 4 seconds and then finally got up and I just stuck my face mask into his and tried to hit him and knock him out of it,
Well, if we're being fair and equal, Josh, you've done some pretty wild stuff after you've scored too. I think you could probably relate.
Nothing like that though. Yeah, that was go back and watch it if you haven't because it was funky.
All right. No, I'm thinking about the one against Houston in the playoff game. Like you know what that one that was that. I mean, that was nuts.
Yeah, that's a tribute to John Brown. That was what Smoke used to do. So I got to show love to my teammates, and so because he threw me the touchdown pass on that play.
Yeah.
So roles were reversed. I had to do it for him. Yes.
That's great. All right. Well, what we need someday, you just said it. We need Diggs to throw you a touchdown at some point, and then you have to do whatever the hell he just did against the Titans. That's the deal.
All right. You got it.
We have it on tape now. Something else fascinating from this game, and this is going to be something to look at moving forward. So what if the event that coach says we're kicking or we're punting, like, can you say, like, no, like, we're going for it. I got this. How does that work?
In the heat of the moment, probably not. If there's a timeout situation where it's like, all right, let's talk about it. It's like, hey, like, we've got the perfect play for this situation. Put it in our hands. Trust us. And I'm usually fairly persuasive in those situations.
Are you? What's McDermott like to hear? What's the skeleton key? How do you do it?
Usually it's just like, trust me.
That's it. You know what's weird? Josh, you played Thursday, you played Monday. So to start 2 weeks of the season, you're home on Sundays. Do you watch the games? Do you sit around and watch NFL games?
I watch them all. Red Zone.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you watch Scott Hansen or Siciliano? Who's your guy?
Scott. Like, he's the best in the game. He's there for 9 hours straight. No commercials. It's fantastic. I love ball, man.
You like the Octo Box?
I do. To start the day off, nice little Octo Box to go, and then rarely will you get a quad box going on, but I know there's some exciting games on Sunday.
What stood out to you of all the things? What you saw? What impressed you?
First 2 weeks of the season, still, and I say this lightly, there's still some bad ball out there, and knocking off the rust, communicating, some missed tackles still. So, the first 2 weeks of the season, sometimes that doesn't really show what a team really is. So there's not a whole lot to be learned from the first 2 weeks of the season. As we're starting to get into, weeks 3, 4, and 5, that'll really tell you about the character of a team and who they're going to be going forward. But the first 2 weeks are kind of like, we don't know who we are yet. We don't have our identity. So, luckily the foundation that we have set here in Buffalo and bringing back Dorsey and most of the guys here on offense, we have a pretty good grasp of who we are, what we want to be. We did a good job of executing the first 2 weeks, but we got to put our best foot forward against a really good Miami team coming up.
Well, you said it, man. You know who looked great in the first 2 weeks? The Dolphins. Let me ask you this. You and I have a relationship where there's certain things you don't say because you're a good teammate and a professional, and I'll just put them out there. Josh, you've done really, really, really well against Miami early in your career, not only with a lot of winning, but a lot of lopsided wins. How do you prepare for a team, or what's the challenge of preparing for a team that you've already had so much success against year after year?
Well, I think this is every year is different. Every game is different. You go into each game with a different game plan, and to see what they are. And then when you play them, especially when it's an in-division rival, you're playing them twice a year. So they're going to switch it up. They're going to show you looks that they normally wouldn't show because they know our tendencies, and we'd like to think that we know their tendencies. So both sides, I mean, in-game adjustments and seeing how they're going to play us, that's really going to be the key early on, just trying to figure out, what situations they're bringing pressure in, what types of pressures they're bringing, what can we do to combat that, and then, how can we make plays going forward. But again, they've got some great players on their side of the ball. Tua's playing fantastic right now, which is, it sucks as a Bills fan and a Bills player to see. You don't want to see your division rivals winning football games, but I'm proud of him for all the adversity and stuff and all the naysayers and stuff like that. I can relate to a lot of that. So he's playing really good football right now, and I hate to see it, but it's it's very good for him.
I think it's really cool for you to say that, because I think there's a lot of people in their own positions who are proud of Tua. And he seems like such a great guy. He's different. He's a lefty. Really, he's been through so much,
Yeah, he really is. And every time I've interacted with him, he has been like the coolest, nicest person that you can think of. And again, it's hard to not root for a guy like that. It just so happens that he's in our division. So, especially when he's playing against us, we can't root for that.
You know what, Tua? You could do a lot worse than starting the season 2-1. That's fine. It's a lot to build on. We wish you the best, except when you play us again. Josh, we do something here called watching film, as if you don't have enough film to watch about the Miami Dolphins. First off, we watched the movie Heat. You flew to LA, you watched the movie Heat, you loved it. We didn't get you this, but Josh, would you give a letter grade to Heat? Like, what would be your official letter grade for De Niro, Pacino, and Heat?
I would have given it a solid B.
A solid B. All right, we can build on that.
Which is good.
Last week,
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, it's great. It's fun.
I enjoyed it so much. I put it in my little hype video on Instagram, and I texted you, and I was like, "You might appreciate what I just posted." So that was a pretty good edit our team did.
You guys got to watch it, because it's like, all right, Bills highlight. This is cool. And then all of a sudden, De Niro's just saying, "You do what you do. I do what I do. Take down scores." And it's Allen, a touchdown. It was so cool. I mean, your team absolutely crushed it. But last week, Peyton Manning, no less, challenged you to watch 1983's National Lampoon's Vacation. You can be honest with us, Josh. Did you watch the film?
I did watch it. Yeah, and I loved it. I think Chevy Chase was, he's hilarious. I've seen Christmas Vacation before. I've never seen the regular Vacation. So I have seen, I know I'm very familiar with that type of comedy, and that's right up my alley. It's the very dry humor. Yeah. Similar to like an Airplane or something like that. So I really enjoyed it. So I appreciate Peyton for putting me on that one, because I probably wouldn't have watched it unless you told me to.
In 1983, you were born in 96. That'd be like me watching Elvis movies. Like, it's a totally, totally different deal. Letter grade for Vacation, Josh. We'll just start making a list for the film festival. What do you think?
See, I'm more of a comedy guy, right? And I love
I know you are.
Light, but I like the action, all that stuff. For the genre, and I rate them by genre. If I rated this an A, it's not that I think it's better than Heat. I'm just saying in this genre, I'm giving it an A-.
Of course, A-. Absolutely beautiful. This is crazy. It's in the swimming pool. Christy Brinkley.
It's crazy.
Fantastic. It just starts going.
The park's closed. The moose should have told you up front. Yeah.
It's the best. So listen, this week you got another road trip. Just and the tales of you saying comedy. Let's give you a movie about a guy who has to go to prison for murder. You got to watch Shawshank. The Shawshank Redemption, 1994. We talked about it. You haven't seen it. It's going to go a lot of places, and there is a football tie. Morgan Freeman does reference 5 football fields. So watch it. You will love it. We will talk about it next week. Does that sound good?
It sounds like a plan. It's something I got to watch. I know I've had to watch it for a long time. Big Morgan Freeman fan. So, maybe I'll get one of these up. If I love it, and I'm going to start adding to this collection up here. These are some of my favorite movies / shows. I've got a few more that I got to put up, but, this whole wall will be eventually filled with movies that I love.
Wait till you see the irony of what you just said about a poster on the wall. That's all I'm going to say. Josh, we got to get you out of here because it's a short week, but how great is this? This is the JA17 blend. I've been drinking it. It's got a little bean with laces on it like a football.
Yep.
Can you please tell us about what this is, Josh? Because the entire Brandt family is drinking it on the daily.
Yep. So the PLBSC is a company. They've been so grateful and gracious for me. This is the JA17 blend. It's a nice coffee roast. It's actually very, very good. I don't drink coffee often, but when I do drink this. So it helps me, be energized in the morning. But again, all the proceeds, I see nothing of it. It goes straight to the Oshai Children's Hospital and the Patricia Allen Fund, which was what I'm so happy about. Like I've got the blend, I've got the cereal, I've got the wing sauces. And again, that goes straight to the hospital. The hat for New Era that I just helped come out with, it goes straight to the hospital. So it's something that I love doing because it's going to such a great cause. And again, I can't thank the Bills Mafia enough for, welcoming me and opening their arms and embracing me the way they have, especially with the products that are being put out, because again, it goes straight to Oshai. And, I couldn't think of a better way to honor my grandmother than, doing that.
How great is this guy? He doesn't have to do it, but he does. All proceeds go. Josh, I can tell you as someone who wakes up every day at 4 a.m, this gets the job done. It is delicious. I have a hot cup every single morning. I was supposed to show the 10-pack instead of the 36-pack. I'm like, I already drank it. It's in the recycling. It's gone.
I love that.
All proceeds go to Oshai Children's Hospital. Bills Mafia, you know what you guys need? Some caffeine. Go get this stuff at Wegmans. It's the only place you can get it. Josh, thank you. We'll do all the old stuff. We'll do the film festival next time. We'll do age-old question. You got a game to prepare for it. Cannot thank you enough. You're the man, and I hope you guys go 3-0. I'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, Kyle. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.